Factors affecting friction. So let's examine the four main factors upon which friction between two surfaces depends. One is the nature of the surfaces in contact. To understand this, consider moving a book across a very smooth table. You might think that since there are no visible irregularities on both these smooth surfaces, and hence there is no friction. But that's not the case. There are still a large number of minute irregularities on them, causing the surfaces to interlock. And the harder the surface, more is the number and size of irregularities, and hence greater is the force of friction. Second is the magnitude of the force used to press the two surfaces together. The theory is simple. The harder the two surfaces press against each other, the more the force of friction. Imagine you want to move that beanbag in your room a little. What you will do is just grab it and move it with ease. Now, will it be that easy if your friend was sitting on it? No. Why? Because with your friend's weight added, the beanbag now presses harder to the floor, thereby increasing the force of friction. The third is the weight of the object in contact with the surface. Well, if your friend were fat, moving the beanbag would be even more difficult, since an increase in weight on the beanbag would exert more force on the floor. And you already studied that when the beanbag presses harder on the floor, the frictional force increases. So, heavier the object, more is the frictional force. The fourth and final factor is the state of motion of an object. If your car ain't starting, you will try starting it by pushing until it gains on speed. You will feel that the initial pushing force to get the car moving is too much in comparison to what you would need once the car starts moving. In other words, the frictional force acting on the car when it remains at rest, termed as static friction, is more than the frictional force acting on the car at the time of moving, which is termed as sliding friction. Don't worry, we will teach you about the static and sliding friction in our next video.